Hey guys and gals, this is Miguel. Thanks for tuning into the Cinema Schmucks. Lucky for you, this is our very first episode, so you get to be witness to all our mistakes and flubs. But hopefully, you'll still have as good of a time as we had. Enjoy.
Or some shit, and he's doing something badass.
I'm pretty sure he's never
I
held a gun.
I never realized how,
some
like...
bullshit like that is when I'm like, oh, he looks kind of good there. Then I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, it is Tom Hiddleston.
He's an attractive guy. How dare you?
Cute.
He's an attractive guy, and I hear he's an upstanding individual, so Tom Hiddleston.
Oh,
I believe that. I like him.
I got your back.
Are we recording?
Yeah, we've been recording for the past 10 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's edited.
Yeah, also it's how you get a good intro.
So we're showing everybody my mouth.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was definitely recorded. So I decided that we were gonna have silly, dumb, fun intros. So I'm gonna get my best radio broadcaster voice on, right? Ladies and gentlemen, today we have the beast from the far east, Charlene Javita. And we got the hand of God, fucking Sierra Monaco. Get it? Cause she's an artist, so it's the best I can come up with on short notice.
Oh.
And then over here, the host with the mastery of snobbery, Miguel Rubiera.
The hostess with the mostest.
Why aren't you in the middle, Miguel?
Yeah,
I'm not in the middle because I'm a humble individual.
Okay. He just called himself the mastery of snob.
I think that's humble. All right. So anyways, guys, so this podcast, we're going to be reviewing movies and such. So the basic premise is we got the noob, Charlene Javita. We got the movie snob, the guy who thinks he knows way too much about movies. And then we got the somewhere in between, Sierra Monaco. So hopefully the goal is to give you guys a varied perspective on each movie that we review, so you guys can kind of, align yourselves with whatever view you think is best suits you. I think most of you are going to find that I give the best reviews, though.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So we watched Thor Ragnarock. How did y'all feel? So I
thought it was... I haven't seen the last two Thor movies, but I hear it's a lot better than what it was.
Yeah, the last two Thor movies, I feel this is a pretty solid movie.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
It was a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah.
And, I know I said this last night, but just, it felt like this one actually had, a set tone that fit it. And I think the only reason why it may have felt a little weird is because of, what we've seen in the past two movies and how different the tone is, but this one was just overall a lot more fun. And when I think about Thor, I think about cartoon Thor from when I was a kid.
With the wings on his helmet.
Yeah, with the wings on his helmet and being all goofy. And so being able to see Thor act like that, it felt a lot better to me.
Yeah, I thought this is the most likable I've ever seen Thor. And funny enough, you mentioned the tone. So Taika Waititi, the director, he actually, in an interview, he said that that's what he felt he brought, that's what he thinks he brings to movies is a strong tone. That's his strong suit. So, and you having not known that he felt that way, I think that's a testament to how truthful I think that statement is.
I agree. Also, have you all seen the director for this movie?
No. I just picture him as the rock guy now.
He's hot.
Is he?
Is he?
I know what he looks like. I know what he looks like. I just didn't think he was hot.
Oh, he's hot old dad.
He looks kind of like Oscar Isaac.
I don't know who Oscar Isaac.
Okay.
So prior to filming, Charlene was like, I get that I'm supposed to be the noob, but I think I'm too noobish. And I said, no, you're fine. That's what I want, because it's going to be funny. And then last night when we were watching the movie, we're watching the Black Panther trailer in the theater, and T'Challa comes on, right? And she's like, is that Idris Elba? I've never experienced such raw rage in public.
Miguel sitting in the theater was just...
I didn't get his real name until today, because he wouldn't tell me. He was just so pissed at me.
Oh my God.
Going back to the tone, that's one thing that I think we could all agree on, that the movie did well, or was at least very definitive throughout the whole movie.
Yeah, it was a lot more comical than I was expecting, because I've never seen the previous two, but I know that I think they were a lot more serious.
They definitely took themselves too seriously.
I think one thing, talking about the trailers, that it told me what this movie was going to be immediately was the song choice for the first trailer, Immigrant Song.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah.
That was such a good choice.
Is that the song?
Ah!
Oh, yeah, okay.
Ah!
That song.
One thing like, sorry, back onto tone.
That's
like,
your job.
I
Keep us
noticed.
in line.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's why,
why you're
I'm in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like in the beginning of the movie, some of the jokes and like the whole scene with Thor like spinning around, it felt like it was trying a little too hard. But I felt like that was the only point in the movie where I felt like that. And I think maybe, again, going back to tone, I think it's because of the contrast. But, like, him spinning around, like, I can totally see Thor doing that, but it just felt weird.
Yes, but I don't think that's necessarily like higher. Maybe it's not that they were trying hard. It's just that that's the level that they're trying the whole movie, but it's such a jarring difference between like the last Thor movies to this one.
Yeah, I was just about to say I wasn't too impressed by that scene. Like, I think that was one of the opening scenes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, like, are the fights gonna be like this? I mean, it wasn't like boring. It was just like
It was fine.
Yeah, it felt like every other action scene
the action
out there.
choreography in general was fine.
I like the dragon part where the dragon was
thing
chasing.
Yeah.
Cool.
That
and
was
then
nice.
he dropped the fucking hammer.
Yeah. But again,
like,
that's more conceptual as opposed to like technical choreography. Whereas
Yeah.
like for example, the Russo brothers in Civil War and Winter Soldier, like that has some of the best like hand-to-hand martial arts that I feel like in cinema. Period. Like it's absolutely great. But I don't think that's Watiti's strength. I think it is the tone, it is the being funny, and it is the being.
Yeah, I was just about to say that I felt like some of the jokes didn't land too. Like, and you could kind of feel it in the audience.
Yeah, but I feel like some of the jokes really landed.
Yeah. Oh god.
Like it's a hilarious movie.
Yeah, it was good.
I feel like some of the things that like we're supposed to extrapolate, like I felt like they didn't do a good job of like setting it up well enough for us to do that.
How so?
Like specifically, I'm thinking about like after Hela gets in there, it feels like we don't see anybody revolting against her really,
Yeah,
except for like
that
that
too.
one army. Like
Yeah.
we
That's
get that
true.
whole scene, but then I'm like, what about the resting Asgard? Like this is supposed to be like a city, you know, full of like great warriors and stuff. These people aren't just gonna, you know, roll over and let her fucking do this shit. I was surprised that they didn't show us more of that. And there were a few points where it felt like they cut stuff
Yeah.
that it was like, oh, we're here now?
Well, a lot of times with big movies, especially big movies with really unique directors, such as Watiti, a lot of times things will be filmed and then the studio will just say drop that or cut that.
Yeah.
So I am interested in seeing.
So the studio doesn't just like check in
No,
on them
it
every couple-
depends. It depends on who you are. For example, Spielberg, he can basically do whatever he wants. Because he's Spielberg. He has a name behind him, he has credibility and all that stuff. He has leverage against the studio. So I'm interested to see what got cut out of Thor Ragnarok because Taika Waititi doesn't have a lot of leverage. His most recent movie, I believe is his most recent, Hunt for the Wilder People, extremely well received, right? And that's what got him this gig. But still, he doesn't have that history. He doesn't have that, like, you know, that just public backing that, like, a Spielberg or a Nolan or, you know, well, not Lucas anymore, but that Lucas once had.
I feel like that's why I don't watch a lot of movies now. It's just because studios have such a big monopoly over them, and I feel like that kind of ruins the vision. Because lately, I just haven't been impressed by that many movies that I have seen.
Well, it's funny that you say that because we've seen a decent amount of movies together this year, and I think that 2017 has been a pretty good year for movies.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it has.
Get Out, Baby Driver, It, Thor Ragnarok.
But most of those were by smaller
Smaller movies,
studios.
yeah,
exactly. So, how did you guys feel about the Queen's Executioner? How did you
Scourge?
feel? Yeah. Because I feel like, was he a new character, like just in general, or
No,
was
he's
he?
from the comics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But was he in the last movies?
No,
Okay.
not to my knowledge.
But then again, they haven't spent that much time on Asgard.
How did you guys feel about like that side plot? Felt like okay.
I thought it wasn't given enough attention. I thought it
Yeah.
could, you know, it's fine, whatever.
Yeah.
It could have been more interesting, but you know, it has a decent payoff at the end. I thought
Yeah.
the whole M16 thing at the end was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Because
Destroy.
at the beginning I was like, all right, this guy's like, I didn't think it was funny, but it was a good characterization. I was like, all right, this guy's clearly an asshole.
Yeah.
At the end when he actually uses them, I was like, okay,
Yeah,
it's a good payoff.
it was nice.
I don't know. I think, like you said, if they had spent more time on it, it would have been more interesting.
Or
But
maybe
like,
not even more time, but at least more attention. Like, you know, more attention to
Yeah.
detail and stuff. They did more with what they had because it was kind of like it felt like it was kind of thrown in there.
Yeah, that's what I. That's what I was
like.
thinking.
I just
was
didn't
like,
care
yeah,
about
it
it.
was
I was just
good.
like, oh, okay. I like when she's like, I was my father's executioner.
Yeah, that I thought
Whatever.
that
I
scene
was
was
like,
pretty
"Ooh."
good. Yeah.
How do you guys feel about Kate Blanchett in general? Her
I
performance?
love Kate Blanchett.
When I
Yeah,
first saw the
got
Queen
you.
show up, I was about to whisper to Sierra, "Is that Cersei from Game of Thrones?"
Jesus Christ.
There was-
I love Kate.
that was like the very first shot, and then after like 5 seconds, I was like, "Oh wait, that's not her. Thank God I didn't ask.
Can we talk about, so talking about her, the goddess of death, can we talk about how the whole movie was very clear, like, biblical allusion? Like, everything from, so, Odin, like, you know, having, like, his right-hand man or woman, you know, God and Lucifer, and then eventually that person getting out of control and him banishing them, casting them aside, you know, condemning them to hell or whatever, and then a new son, a new right-hand man coming up, that being Odin, that being Thor and or Jesus, and then, you know, that person, you know, going on a long journey of like, not redemption, of like, you know, finding himself and, you know, of humility and all that stuff, and then coming back as the savior of a people.
Loki shows up with a boat because he's Noah.
Yes. This is the most I've liked Loki in any, like, throughout the whole cinematic universe.
He was still being beat up all the fucking time.
He's trash.
I felt like he was more. I mean, I already liked him before, but
You said you already, or you never really?
I already.
Okay.
Yeah, but I felt like he was definitely more likable this movie.
Yeah.
And he kind of had a change of heart towards me.
Yeah.
I really liked that scene where Thor's like, yeah, you get exactly what you want. We never have to see each other again. And Loki's like,
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh my god. I felt so sad for him. I love.
like, it was just.
I really like Loki's character.
I think this movie does the best job of any of the movies of exemplifying their relationship.
Yes.
In that they do like have serious problems, and sometimes it seems like they hate each other. But like literally right after that conversation where he's like, all right, I guess we're gonna go our own ways. We'll never see each other again. This is what you've always wanted. Then they're like, all right, I guess, all right, so what's the plan to get to the ship? And he's like, let's do get help. And you're like, what's get help? And so there's a little banner there, and then you see that like, you know, the elevator doors open and Thor's pretending to hold Loki up. He's injured. He's like, yeah, help, my brother's injured. Help my brother. And then when the guards come, he just throws Loki at them like he's doo-doo.
It really showed like a familial bond,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because like it was realistic in the way that, you know, my brother might do something stupid or he might be a jackass, but like I'm still gonna kind of support him, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, like Loki's obviously like out here kind of mass murdering. So like that's a little different, but at least like that aspect of their dynamic coming together was pretty real.
I was just about to say, I felt like they really did do a good job about Loki and Thor's relationship, because up until now I wasn't really sure what it was. Like I was trying to, I think I like turned to Sierra. I was like, Sierra, are they like good now, or are they like not cool, or what's going on? But I felt like it did a good job of establishing that.
I think the answer to that question is that they're brothers.
Yeah.
And that's their relationship, is that they're
Okay.
brothers, and you know.
I didn't know they like hated each other. Or they were like on no talking terms or something.
It's kind of half and half.
Okay.
Loki's on no talking terms, and Thor's like, my brother, it's so good to see you. Come
Oh my
join me
God.
for drinks.
So what do you guys think of Thor Ragnarok, right? What are you going to tell our viewers?
Do we have
Charlene.
I think it's a good movie even just for beginners.
Even
Like-
just
Like me, Marvel noobs.
okay, so it's a
Yeah.
good time.
Yeah, and you still understand what's going on too.
Yeah, it's a pretty self-contained story, relatively.
Do we have a scale?
No, I don't want to do scales. I want to just, because I feel like scales give like a definitive answer, and it's like that's
True.
not. Movies are a subjective experience.
I think it was a really enjoyable movie.
Great.
It was like.
All right. I think it's really fun. It has a consistent tone. You know, the action's a little underwhelming, but
Yeah.
I think it's definitely a great time, and you should
Yeah.
go see it. I think that's what I want to go with. Instead of a scale, I kind of just want to like say like go see it, don't go see it, wait till you don't have
Yeah.
to pay for it, and you see it like, you know, at your friend's house or some shit.
Yeah, definitely go see it in theaters. I think as far like it's a fun movie, the effects are cool with the colors and the music. I think that movie experience is perfect for it. You know, like they did a good job with that. And one thing I wanted to say too is like this was the most Thor movie that we have seen. So that's
Right.
why you should go see it, because it's
Definitely.
the most Thor.
This is the best characterization of Thor and
Yes.
his supporting cast, including the Hulk. I mean, this is the most screen time and like dedicated attention the Hulk's gotten in any movie.
Oh really?
Bruce.
Okay.
Yeah, he's usually just smashing things. But
Did they not have a Hulk movie?
They have a whole
They-
movie that's sort of connected to the MCU, but they try to forget about it because it wasn't very good.
But it's a pretty old movie, isn't it?
2009.
And
Yeah.
it wasn't
So I thought-
Mark Ruffalo. Mark Ruffalo.
It was Edward Norton.
Was that before
Yeah.
Disney acquired?
Oh yeah,
them?
Yes.
Disney only acquired them like in what 2013, 2014.
Yeah.
Really? That
Yeah.
recently? Oh, wasn't it like right before Star Wars too?
Yeah, it's fucking wild that Disney just has $8 billion to throw around in acquisitions.
Yeah, and now
Like,
Universal has to. I heard they have to pay Disney now to have the Spider-Man still
Yeah.
in their park. That fucking sucks.
Yeah. Well, I don't know because
That's what I
they probably had
heard.
a predetermined deal because Universal also still holds the rights to the host. And there you go, guys. Thanks again for tuning in, and find us again here next week for some more raucous movie discussion with the Schmucks. And if you can't wait till then, be sure to follow us on Instagram at Cinema Schmucks and on Twitter at the same handle.